did not see the split on the conservative liberal mom versus dad. That sounds vaguely Jungian and almost Jordan Peterson esque of you. Jordan
Oh
Peterson
well, to
esque.
what do I do? To what do I owe the dubious honor? If you're talking about Jordan Peterson in his classroom, I'm flattered by the comparison. If you're talking about this fucking, you know, organ grinding circus monkey figure who just spouts all this Myers-Briggs bullshit, then I'm, but somewhere in there, there's the same guy, but they seem like two different people.
Well, I was gonna go in a different direction, but can I share with you a bit of the Destiny conversation
Yeah,
with
well,
Jordan Peterson?
yes. Can I tell you about my experience at the canal watching two little boys throw rocks at ducks and what the
Okay.
women were doing and what the dad, because this is illustrative. I started to write a Substack piece about this titled "For God's Sake, Stop Saying Please to Your Children." Um, and super quick.
Okay.
So these
I think
two
it's
little
pretty.
boys, about 3 and 5,
Yeah.
were at the canal. My daughter was with me. We were riding bike, and then her mom, her stepdad, and then their little boy was there too. And the canal was mostly drained, so it was like real, like there's not much water, and the ducks were like walking around at the bottom. So these two little boys, about 3 and 5, come with their aunt and their mom, and they're, as little boys do, they're throwing these big fucking hunks of rock. They're not trying to hit the ducks. They're not being malicious little monsters. But of course, these Pittsford moms, and I see this so much. This is not just white women anymore. This has spread like a fucking cancer. They're like, now, this incredibly timid voice. Now, we're not trying to hurt the ducks. And of course, these two little fuckers are not registering that. Now, they're not trying to be mean, but they're laughing and it's not getting into their fucking skull. So I'm sitting there watching this, and of course, I cannot stand. I'm so repulsed whenever I see this. So the dad comes, and he's like, "What are we doing? I don't want them throwing rocks at ducks." Like, no, they've got to stop now. And one of the ladies just looks at him. Her eyes are like saucers, as if he had just done the most horrific thing. Like she's just looking at him bug-eyed. And then one of the kids, he's like, "No, we're going now." And one of the kids starts screaming, "Dude!" I wanted to fucking get up and applaud. I could have hugged the guy. I'd be like, "You deserve a medal, sir, for taking action here and putting the fucking kibosh on this shit." Like, like, and how often, James, do you hear, "Okay, Johnny, let's go inside, please. Let's go." And Johnny doesn't give a fuck what his mom and increasingly dads are saying. He hears the conciliatory tone in your voice, and you got to tell him 3 and 4 times. My daughter knows I'm not even firm. I don't even raise my voice that often. I don't get authority, like I'm just like, "Okay, I don't want to have to ask you twice." Just like, and what happened that we got scared to say no to kids? And so I'm like, "Parents, for God's sake, stop saying please. You're already conceding your authority. Kids want and need and crave your authority." I'll tell you another quick story, not to be self-indulgent here.
No, it's quite all right. Do your thing.
So I go to pick my daughter up at school twice a week, and I drop her off the other 3 days. And so that's my time to hang with the parents. And that's kind of like me going out to a bar. It's like at the playground. And on one day, I go with the two dads are there, and then this mom from a French family who, like, we all love talking to each other. And then the other day, it's two moms and then the same French mom. And so the French little boy, he's much older than my daughter, and he's a rough customer. He wants to tear shit up, and so I start hurling these like French, like mean things at him. I'm like, "Nous ne sommes pas les sauvages, les babas," and like the kids, his sister and him, like, think it's funny. And so one day he starts throwing wood chips at me. I'm like, yo, dude. So I said this in English and I was totally serious. I'm like, if you hit me with one of those wood chips, I'm going to hold you upside down just to the point that somebody will die from being held upside down. In other words, don't fuck with me.
Wow.
And what does he do? What does he do right after this? He
He
smiles at
fucks
me
with
and
you.
he goes to his no. He
No?
smiles at me and he goes to his mom, "Mommy, do we have to leave?" He's like, "Oh, mom, do we have to leave?" Like he's like smiling at me. He's like, "Yeah, because with boys, you need to fucking do that. You need to be like, yo, man, I obviously wasn't going to hold him upside down so the blood, his brain had an aneurysm or whatever. But I was going to pick him up and hold him upside down and be like, you're not doing this to me without consequence." And this is what we need to get back to. Like, okay, kid, you'll be fine if I say no. You're not going to die if I say no to you. Why are we like, please, please, can you please do this? Can you please? It's like, no, I need you to do this. And that's it. You don't even need to hit your kids. You don't need to scream at them. You don't need to be a disciplinarian. You don't need to be a drill sergeant. Just know that when you ask them to do something, you can have the dignity of expecting that they will reasonably comply. And that has been annihilated. And that is feeding so much of this. I went to Andrew Huberman and oh my goodness, he's got 6 girlfriends. And oh, what am I going to do with that? So
I didn't expect you to take that there. That was wow. Parenting lessons from Saby Reyes Kulkarni.
yeah, and I can talk about all my parenting fuck ups, but look, moms out there, get back in touch with your superpower in your throat chakra. You are moms. You're the ones shaping boys more than dads are. Let's not forget this shit. Everything we complain about with boys, who is the one instilling all of this? Who's the one showing them an example of womanhood that they either respect or they don't? In fact, I would say to American upper middle class mothers, society is depending on you to be firm with your boys, to show them this is a line you do not fucking cross. And when I ask you to do something, you do it. You don't have to be abusive. Previous generations were abusive. They hit kids. Dude, I went to school. Nuns were hitting kids in elementary school. Like, just that is fucking insane. But now we've swung all the way. Like, please, come on. I need you to do this, please. No, fuck, please. Like, just, I need you to cooperate with me so that we can all do our thing. That's all.